Hi, and welcome to Canine Overland Podcast, the podcast all about adventuring with your doggos and overlanding. I'm Johnny, known as Canine Overland on Instagram.
I'm Kat, and I am the Canine Explorers on Instagram. This is episode 7.
Welcome back, you guys. I hope you guys are enjoying your week and you had a good Labor Day weekend. We know we did. We went to.
Was Labor Day weekend this past weekend? No.
Oh, shoot, it was last weekend.
Yeah. Wait. Yeah. Because our last episode was Campfire Convos, and that was after Labor Day weekend.
Oh,
you
yeah.
Weirdo.
I went back to work, so my days are kind of loopy.
This past weekend was very short. I don't think we did anything because I don't remember anything from when we got back from camp till now.
Me neither.
You went back to work on Friday last week.
I did.
How was that?
Was not fun. My PT session was going really well the past couple weeks until I started work again on Friday. I think I injured my arm a little bit on Friday because when I'm there, it's just muscle memory. I forget that I have an injury. So I use my arm a lot more. I think I was making boxes to help out the back end.
Yeah,
and
so you're constantly moving your arm, wearing and tearing your ligaments.
Yeah, and then Monday when I came back to PT, they were asking me, did you do anything this weekend? And then I said, no, I was home this past weekend. Oh, wait, I did. I went to work on Friday. And they're like, well, did you use your arm? Like, I probably did. I don't know.
Yeah. Autopilot.
Yeah, but they beat the hell out of my arm on Monday when they got to all the soft tissue and they dug into my first rib, and that was super painful. Still sore, still bruised.
So are you back to square one, or are you just like 10 steps backwards?
More like 10 steps backwards. It's starting to get a little bit better. My mobility is getting a little bit better, but the pain is still there.
Yeah, that's not good.
Yeah.
So then what is your plan, or what is their plan now that you're working, but you're wearing and tearing your injury some more? Like, you can't get better if you're constantly using it.
So what they want to do now is let me go to PT for the next 24 sessions to
24 sessions?
Yeah, to straighten the muscle
Dang.
around the injuries, and then to wait for the inflammation to go down. In my opinion, I don't think the inflammation is gonna go down if I keep fucking it up.
Yeah, if you keep using
more.
it.
So I've been wearing a sling at work, so I don't use my arm, and it
to
seems
keep you from
so I can remember that hey,
your arm
I'm
is
crippled,
injured,
and I have a chicken wing and I can't use it. So
yeah, and you're pretty high tolerance to pain. So even if you were injured and if you didn't have that sling, you would probably not even care that you're in pain. You're just gonna work.
Pretty much.
And that's probably what happened.
I always work through pain anyways, even before the injury. So like, this is crucial that I lay off my arm for sure.
So we've been hearing from some friends and family that workers' comp is a pain in the ass to deal with. What? A headache and
it
all
is a
that?
big headache because before all of this happened, I used to joke around all the time. Yeah, if I fuck up at work, I'll be on workers' comp. I'll chill.
Yeah, everyone thinks workers' comp is like free money, but it's not. It's you're going back to regular life at work, right? But you're injured, so now it's like modified duties, but at the same time, like, you can't get work done because you're just there feeling helpless and not useful.
Well, it sucks because my benefits were getting ready to expire. So they were only going to pay me 2/3 of whatever I was making at work. So I'd rather be at work doing nothing anyways and get paid my full hours and my full benefits and everything.
Oh, so if you were to stay home, they would have just paid you 2/3?
Yeah, 2/3 of
fair.
my wage. It is not fair. It's
The
kind
heck?
of fucked up. And I don't like the system at all, but,
No.
For me...
You got to jump through their hoops to get what you need.
What I need, like, for example, to get the help that I needed, I have to constantly hound them.
Yeah.
To get the help. It took me a month and a half to get to the right PT, right? Because the PT that they were sending me to was like a mill like a meal place where they send you in and they're just cycling out patients, right?
They don't even look at you. They're just like,
They
oh,
don't.
what's wrong with you?
So I just come in and
send you away.
Yeah, so I just come in and they're like, hey, why don't you jump on the bicycle machine and do like 10 minutes of warm up and then do some rows on the cable machine. And after that, they just move my arm around to check things here and there. And then that's it, right? They schedule me for another PT. But this new PT place that I've been going to, the first minute I get there, for the first 15, 20 minutes, they just constantly work my muscles. They're making sure my range of motion is good. If my range of motion isn't good, then they'll work around the muscles to loosen stuff up so I can get my range of motion back. And it's been working. So they're really good. They're good people. They're cool people too.
Where is this place?
It's in Newport Beach.
What is it called?
It's called Orange County Therapy Fitness.
Fitness. So they specialize in
Both.
athletic.
Yeah. So they
therapy.
know what they're doing.
Yeah,
Mhm.
physical therapy.
Yeah, and they have a power
well, that's
rack in
good
there.
because you like when this incident happened, and when you were going through those rounds of the first PT, and they were just like literally sending you around in circles, and I'm like thinking, do you know who you're talking to? Like, you used to be a bodybuilder and you freaking worked out for years, so you know your body best, obviously. And they didn't take the time to just ask you the simplest questions. Where does it hurt? You know, and what can you lift and not lift? They just literally put you in the freaking hamster wheel of their cycle of PT patients, get you through, and then that's the end of it.
Not only that, but then they don't, when they explain things to me, they just beat around the bush, basically. They called my chest. That's it. This new place, they call it the pec minor.
Yeah.
Pec minor, right? So they're
They
digging
actually
into
know
all
the
that.
muscle
Yeah, they know
names.
the muscle names and everything too. So it helps. It lets me know that they know their shit and they know what they're doing to get me back on track. Because I eventually do want to go back to the gym and
Well, yeah, you still
powerlift
need to
again.
operate your vehicle. You can't just drive it with one arm.
Mm-hmm.
Not only that, you need your arm to carry heavy loads because you have two heavy dogs, and two, a lot of camping gear.
Yeah.
So, I mean, as long as this physical therapist now is working, but yeah, I didn't mean to like pry into your work life and stuff. But
okay.
I mean, this kind of relates to our lifestyle a bit because it kind of hinders our lifestyle a little bit.
It does.
And I mean, accidents happen. This kind of relates to overlanding too, because sometimes, like when you're overlanding, you can get into accidents, injure yourself, and you would need to go to physical therapy to kind of get your body working. So overlanding is not as crazy, but it can get crazy. Like some of the trails can get really, really, really bad, or like the trails can get really narrow, and then you just miss maybe a line here or there, and like you kind of just miss the mark, and then you can tip over your vehicle, pin yourself somewhere. I don't know. We've heard a few accidents that happen in Colorado.
Well, also like getting out of the car. Like yesterday, I almost slipped and fell because we were on a steep, like a very steep slope.
Don't say yesterday.
And then
This was like 3 weeks ago.
okay, nobody knows. 3 weeks ago. So when I was getting out of the car to spot you,
you were moving too fast.
Well, not only that, but then it was super loose.
Land.
It was super loose and sandy, and the minute I set foot on the ground, I just slid forward.
Yeah,
luckily my
accidents
doors
can
was
happen.
open to catch myself.
Yeah, accidents can happen when you're out there. So, I mean, obviously, with anything you're doing, take it slow. Try not to rush through things. I know shit happens, and I know like when it happens fast, like your response kind of has to be fast. But if it's not fast, I mean, you kind of just have to roll with it. So yeah, this trail that we did. Do you have the name of that trail? It was a first timer.
To be honest,
We were just driving. Okay, so I took the dogs out to Ortega Highway because I'm planning on transitioning my dog walks to pack adventures out there because it's so local to us, and I can get out there within 45 minutes, depending on where my last pickup is. But I want to take the dogs hiking, and like get dirty. We can't really do a lot around here because we go to our local parks and there's just so many like squirrels, other people walking with their dogs, and their dogs are completely like out of control and so distracting that I can't even get my dogs to pay attention to me sometimes. Like pack walking is not the easiest thing, and not everyone can do it. But I mean, like that's not like the reason why I want to do pack adventures. I just feel like having the dogs being able to be on longer leashes or off leash, hiking, being able to smell and be one with nature is a little bit more fulfilling and mentally exhausting for them. So I just want to give them a little bit better life than just a walk at the park. But anyway, we were there and then we were just driving around. Some of the roads up there were still closed because of our recent fire closures. So we didn't really have a lot of places to explore, but we drove and just took one dirt road and it ended up being an off-road trail.
Well, I was supposed to meet you up after work to the trail that we usually do, and you told me that you were waiting for me at a watershed, hanging out for me to meet you there.
Off the side of the road.
Yeah, but then I think I was messing around with my maps on my phone where I missed the turn. So I ended up doing a U-turn where we were supposed to exit the trail, and then that's where I saw the sign that says BLM, and I figured, hey, you know what? BLM is,
free for all.
It's free for all. We can go explore. You don't have to worry about gates or anything. So
sometimes
there's gates. It all depends, I guess.
The BLM wasn't closed over the fire restriction.
Yeah.
So
I came straight from work, so I didn't have my iPad with my Gaia map or anything on there.
Yeah,
so I
couldn't. Just your phone.
Yeah, it was just my phone because the rig is already equipped with like the with our GMRS radios and everything. So that's in the rig. So I had everything except for my maps, my satellite phone, and I think a couple of tools that I would probably need if I had a flat tire at home.
Why was it at home?
Because I was cleaning out the rig because we weren't going to go anywhere, and it was a spontaneous trip when you texted me when I was at work.
I got off work early, and then Sherry was off work too, so I invited her to come out, and that was her first time off-roading, and she liked it. She was a little scared.
Did she pee her pants?
I mean, I think so. I mean, she's not very outdoorsy. She goes hiking here and there, but like she doesn't really camp. She doesn't really she's never off-roaded before. She even told me like she doesn't like driving. But she's Gumja's mama, and Gumja is with us all the time. He's gone camping a few times with us. So I thought it would be fun to invite Sherry out and let her see what our lifestyle is all about. And she said it was an adrenaline rush.
I mean, the first 2 miles of the trail was super easy, right?
Yeah.
The minute we drove in it, we're like, we didn't know what to expect. It was there was a lot of shade. The road was mainly flat with a couple of like little dips and potholes here and there.
Like, near the end.
Until mile like 2-ish, it got super rutted. Me being experienced, I thought it was moderate, but
to me,
what do you think?
I would consider it moderate only because I know we can get through it. I just never driven through something like that before. So to me, as a beginner, obviously I would think expert, but because I've seen it driven before, like you've driven through trails like that and worse as me passenger. So I kind of had that experience already. So yeah, I still thought it was moderate, but I was still trying to get my footing as a driver, like figuring out what lines to take, how my car feels, what my clearance is, like where my passenger wheel sits because it's so far away on the other side from where I'm sitting. So my perception of the size of my car is still off because I'm still thinking I'm driving a Camry, but yeah, I have a bigger vehicle now, so I don't want to overestimate where the wheel is, but I don't want to underestimate either. But I think I underestimated yesterday, or I think I underestimated during a section where it was completely like, it was like a good 60-degree angle. It was so slanted on one side.
For some context, if I were to stand in that hole,
you would fall over.
No, it would be as tall as to my hips. It was pretty.
No,
No, because I walked it when I got out.
You walked it,
I
but
did
it
walk
wasn't
it.
up to your hips.
It
Get
was
out of
up
here.
to my hips.
It was a good foot and a half, maybe 2.
No, it was.
But it
bigger
wasn't
than
a
that.
hole. It was a slant. It was a slant. The road was completely twisted.
It was slanted with a huge rut that goes all the way downhill.
But it wasn't.
But it was pretty
It wasn't
deep,
like
though.
a hole.
Well, not a hole. More like what? How would you describe it? Like
A dip.
like
A rut.
a V-notch, basically. Because
Yeah.
I
up against the wall.
because I rode the V, and then I wanted you to place your tires against the wall.
I know, but you told
Yeah.
me a little too late. I was already in it.
Yeah, you were in it, so you slid into the V.
So luckily Sherry was recording the whole thing, so I was able to watch what it would look like inside the vehicle, and where I positioned it, I was too much on the I guess you can call it the road that slanted. So from the left side, it's high up, and then it slants down to the right, like a good 50 degrees. It wasn't.
No, 50 degrees, you would roll over. 45 is the max degrees at.
Yeah,
where it's
and I
roll over.
slid.
Well, you didn't roll over.
Okay, so it was like maybe 30 degrees. Anyway, it was a pretty steep angle. And then it like goes up the hill, the mountain on my right side, so it wasn't cliffside, luckily, right? Because if it was cliffside, I wouldn't even attempt that. I would have you come out and spot me exactly, because I wouldn't even risk that, because we had the dogs and stuff. But so imagine looking on it straight on the right side's all the way down, but the left side's up. But then the right side, it goes back up on the wall. So I can't really drive the wall, but there's like at least a little bit of dirt that I could have driven on it, or I could have driven completely flat into that V-notch, whatever you call it, with my right side of the wheels. So I was driving, I was inching forward, and then I thought I had the right side in there, but apparently I didn't, because as soon as I got onto that little hill, I slid right into the V-notch, because I didn't gauge the width of my car very well. So I was a little too far left, but I thought I was doing it. But that's what it looked like in the video. But yeah, so luckily the wall was there to catch the right side. So when I slid into the V-notch, it stopped me. Then I was able to ride the V-notch through, and I clunked a little bit over some rocks, and then I made it over the hill.
But no damage to the LX. I think
No,
the
it was just the wheels.
33s did really well on that trail yesterday. Never any slippage.
No.
You know, you had
It
traction
was
the
just
whole
that.
time.
Yeah, it was just that.
It was just loose sand.
Mm-hmm.
What we drove
And
over.
I was going so slow that if maybe I had a little bit of speed, I would have made it without sliding. I was just so scared, because I think that was the steepest angle through the whole trail.
Did you have your lockers turnn on yesterday?
No.
You just had
My
had it in
lockers,
for
I
low?
leave on auto. It just turns on when it feels like it. I don't press no buttons or anything.
No, your lockers is a button.
I know it's a button, but it turns on automatically when I need it.
Mm-hmm.
The computer and the card turns it on automatically for me. I wouldn't know when to turn it on, so I don't touch it.
Does it say VSC off on when it turns on? Because I don't remember what it does.
When it turns on automatically, the green light that has the lines that looks like an H turns on, and then it turns off after it's done.
Okay.
And that locks the wheels, because I can feel it.
Yeah.
But I don't touch no button.
But if you wanted, so for your car, if
I want to manually put it on, I'd have to touch the
Well,
button.
not only that, but if you wanted to stay on the whole entire time for a longer time, then you press the button and it'll lock the whole time.
I wouldn't even know how to drive
Yeah.
with lockers. I don't even know the concept of lockers.
That's another subject we'll talk about.
Right. So you can't ask me, do I turn it on? I don't turn on anything if I don't need it. I don't know what I'm doing. I don't want to touch all these buttons. Next thing you know, the car's rolling off the mountain.
Well, you already had like two
but
puckering moments.
But that trail was a good learning experience, because I was able to get some practice in learning lines. Even though driving in Utah Labor Day weekend, we did some pretty gnarly trails too that got some good practice. But this trail was like super close to home, so I think I would want to do that trail again and go the same way we did, to kind of redeem myself on that V-notch to see if I can, drive over it without like hesitating or holding my breath.
We'll probably have to teach you how to use brake control on the downhill descent.
What's brake control?
Because I think on one of the sections where we're going downhill, I think you brake a little too hard where you slid forward a little faster than normal. Because I remember seeing the video that Sherry took. Your car was going pretty fast near.
I think I didn't have.
Near my butt.
Was that in the beginning of the trail, middle trail, or the end? Because I didn't put 4 low on until like the middle.
Yeah, it was a little bit past the middle section. The hill. It was going downhill, and then I stopped because I wanted to come out to spot you, but then you had already descended down the hill, and I think your car, you were slowing down, but at the same time the car started sliding forward even more. I think you braked a little too hard.
Okay.
We'll work on that. You should be good. I mean, you know what lines to take. I mean, you followed my line.
No, I mean I have the picking out the line concept pretty decent knowledge of it, because I mean my goal, I'm not here to like rock climb or anything. So my goal is to keep the car as leveled as possible, because 1, it's huge, 2, it's top heavy, and 3, I have a shit ton of dogs in the back. I don't want to put my car in a risk where I might tip over, or I might get stuck on something. So the lines I choose is going to be where I can get all 4 wheels as leveled as possible. Like that's my goal. Your goal, I see sometimes you go over rocks and boulders like because you want to have fun. But I'm like, there's a freaking road on the right side that's completely flat. I don't understand why you just didn't take it. You went on the left side and it was all rocks. Near the very end.
Well,
I told Sherry, I was like, I'm going to go over here because it's flat.
if I'm going to build a car, I'm going to use it.
Exactly. But I'm not building my car for what you're doing. So like I said, I know enough to find my way through a trail safely because I have dogs.
Yeah. Different build, different purposes.
Right. Different build, different purposes. But on the same trail.
Yeah.
So yeah, I wonder if we can like get a video or something comparing the two on a same trail, or go to Cleghorn and I stay on the fire road and you do like the offshoots and be like, this is a car that I built for this road, and then your car is the car that you built for that road.
I don't think I'm ready for another big trail until I install the new lift that's coming in. It's supposed to come in today. Don't know where it's at yet.
Yeah, but I mean, even though we were on the same trail and your car was, more capable and built than mine, like it all depends on what line you take. So obviously I took one wrong line at that V-notch, but I mean, we both went through that trail without any damages. I try to follow your line as much as possible just because I know it works. And then seeing your car, however it maneuvered over those, then I imagine my car be the same. But there are some times that I was like, oh, I think this line is better, and I would take it. Mm-hmm. And then that's when I put trust in my decision to do that.
Yeah, it's all about learning out there.
Yeah, and it was a learning experience. I mean, it was a spontaneous trip. The dogs didn't die. They weren't freaking out. They had all the room in the world back there.
It's always a good day out there when there's no breakdowns and no rollovers.
Yeah.
And you came out in one piece.
Yeah.
That's all that matters. Even though I beat the shit out of my car a lot of times just to test parts, brake parts.
I mean, it was cool to discover a new off-road trail near home.
I never knew that was there. We exit that trail X amount of times, and I never look left.
We drive by that. We drive by that opening all the time. Because we drive through Ortega Highway, we just go straight to Lake Elsinore. There's so many roads and stuff up there to discover. A lot of hikes. I actually haven't done a lot of hikes out there.
There's a shit ton of hikes. We've driven by so many.
It's so close yet so far. We haven't hiked in a long time. We've just gotten so busy, and then with the forest closures and stuff, and summer being so hot, I don't like hiking in the heat.
I just didn't want to deal with ticks.
Yeah. Winter hiking is my favorite type of hiking, though. Even though we're fully clothed and have extra gear, I'd rather hike in the snow or colder weathers. But yeah, so that was my experience on a tougher trail, and Sherry got to share it with me. We should get Sherry on an interview one of these days.
We should.
But yeah, life update. We're just really busy right now. Johnny's back at work now, and we're not getting a lot of stuff done. I'm launching my Pack Adventures in October, depending on how the weather is going to be like. But when we went there recently, it was okay. It was hot, but it wasn't like so scorching hot that the dogs didn't have fun. Like, I always pack water, and I mean, I have my portable AC unit and stuff to keep the dogs cool. So I'm excited for that. I already have some clients lined up for those, which is awesome. I'm probably going to have some openings to sign on more pack members for that. So I will post that on my personal Instagram. Not personal Instagram. I will post that on the dog Instagram, my business Instagram, the Canine Explorers. And then we're planning on a camping excursion for the winter for client dogs to join in. So stay tuned for details on that.
I'm super excited for that trip.
I mean, we kind of did it in the beginning here and there, but it wasn't like an official like invitation to my clients like, hey, let me take your dog camping. It was more like, oh, your dogs are boarding already, like, we're gonna go camping this weekend, I'm just gonna take your dogs.
Yeah,
it was more like casual, like, I'm just gonna take your dog with me. But now it's official, like, we're doing this camping trip, spots are limited, sign up your dog now before it's too late. And now we have 2 vehicles, so now I don't have to think about, like, you know, telling I don't have to think about, I mean, I still have to think about the number of dogs we take, but we're a little bit more flexible with the space because the Jeep alone wasn't enough, but now we have 2 vehicles. So yeah, any other updates we have going on?
Besides our business, me going back to work, I think
No, now you're back at work. I feel like we're not going to do a lot. But
like a lot of camping or a lot of like activities?
Everything.
Oh.
Everything. I liked having you at home during the weekdays because dishes are done, laundry gets done.
Well, I got nothing else to do. I'm at home.
Now you're gonna do it on the weekend. So if you guys didn't know already, we are part of this group, Riggs and Boba, which is a meetup group. We're helping out our friend Wendy. Wendy's the host of that. She started it, and we're coming up on our 1-year anniversary of hosting that event. So last year, I forget the actual day, but last year when we helped her host, we hosted it at Taste Tea in Chino Hills in their parking lot. And we didn't anticipate a huge number of cars coming. We were just like, oh, let's just do this for fun. Like, Wendy wanted to kind of get the community together and meet new friends and whatnot. And she asked us for help because we kind of already do that with the dogs. Like, we host group stuff. So when we helped her out for that, we told Tasty's owner that, oh yeah, maybe around like 30, 40, 50 max cars will be there. Like, no big deal. It's not going to be crazy. And then come the night of the event, like a handful of cars were there even before the start time. And then we had that meet for like a good 3 hours, and up until the very last minute that we posted the flyer for the time, we counted over 100 rigs, right?
It was close to 150, yeah.
Yeah.
100 plus.
For our first meet, and this was like pre-COVID.
Yeah.
This was right before COVID. Or was it during COVID?
I don't remember, to be honest.
I think it was during COVID.
It was, because we made everybody wear masks.
Yeah, it was okay. It was during COVID, but it was during the time where it was right after the second spike happened. We were on stay-at-home order again, and then it got lifted. I remember now. Yeah. So yeah, COVID, and then like COVID just messed up everything, and then everyone like desperately wanted a meetup. After the second spike, we were worried we couldn't host it because of the colored tiers, like we were in like purple or something, like we couldn't go outside. And then but we said fuck it, let's just do it.
And it came out great.
Yeah, and it came out great. And
so many supporters. And
then Riggs and Boba had a couple of meets since then, and then it kind of just everyone just got busy. But now we're planning a 1-year anniversary.
Yeah, so our 1 year anniversary is in October. So we can't host one there because it was kind of hard to get a space. But we're going to do our 1 year event collaborating with Status 7 on Saturday, December 11th at Tasty in Chino Hills. So if you guys are free and want to come out and check out rigs, talk to people about, their builds, get ideas for your builds, or come and pet dogs,
Yeah, most
Come on
likely, there will be some dogs. Like I will definitely bring my dogs, and there's usually like a good handful of other people that bring out their dogs. Meetups like this is a perfect way to just get an idea of the community, the overland community, camping, all that good stuff. Because even if you don't have a rig, like Rigs and Boba welcomes all cars, stock off the lot to a completely
semi-built
built out,
or fully built.
rig. It doesn't matter. Come out to these community meetups. You can meet people. You can see cool rigs, and if there's something that you see on a rig that's cool that you want to ask about, like, just be like, hey, who owns this car? I have questions. And everyone's always usually willing to answer them, because why else would you come with your rig and show it off if you're not going to answer questions about it?
And
right?
It doesn't have to be a rig. It can be anything.
No, it could be any car. I brought my Camry once. Someone brought their GTR. People drove
a Lamborghini.
Yeah, people drive
BMWs.
Regular cars. Stock to fully built.
Yeah, because
everything in between.
Because we're teaming up with Status 7, which is an import.
Scene. This first anniversary is just going to be a mix of everything.
Yep.
So yeah, we're just going to go out with a bang, because I don't think we're going to be hosting a lot of stuff here anymore, because the city kind of changed their rules.
Yeah, they're not allowing
on us.
it.
So if any of you guys have any idea where we can host something in a parking lot, let us know. If you guys own, if you know someone that owns a parking lot, or have a boba shop somewhere that we can host something like this, let us know, please. We would greatly appreciate it.
Big lots preferred, because when people say there's 30 people coming, there's going to be double that.
Yeah,
every time.
We don't want another round of our first time, because we ran out of parking spaces. Everyone had overflow to Lowe's.
Yeah, there was overflow, but then people were leaving trash still, so I had to come and pick it up so they don't bitch at us.
I mean, for the most part, overland people do leave no trace.
Yep.
They do pick up their waste, but then again, when we mix, all cars are welcome. Every level of, overland experience are welcome. Sometimes the beginner people might not know, and then some people, it's just human nature to forget that you left your trash. So there's always going to be good Samaritans that hang back to pick up the trash. So I mean, I feel like we're pretty respectful with the lots. It's just, it does get a little crazy with a huge turnout when it's 150 rigs. But yeah, that will be fun. So again, Rigs and Boba and Team Status 7 1 year anniversary meet is going to be at Tasty Chino Hills. The address is 4711 Chino Hills Parkway, Suite D. That's Chino Hills, California, 91709. So when you get there, basically park in the middle. Don't park in front of the businesses, because we like to just reserve those spaces for real customers that go to these businesses that are there. And then, just pick up after yourselves. There's actually no bathroom, so kind of plan ahead. You can try and walk into Lowe's and use their bathroom, but they do give you looks. They might kick you out. I don't know, because they're actually not part of our part of the thing. Tasty doesn't have a public restroom. Yeah, I mean, definitely plan ahead before you get there.
And then I will be posting a map of the location on Rigs and Boba's account on Instagram, showing you where to park, where not to park, the overflow parking, because we changed that around. We're not parking at Lowe's anymore. I think we're parking across from the building.
In the corner?
Yeah. Okay. Well, it's a pretty big lot, so
yeah.
So
so that's
should be good.
That's Rigs and Boba on Instagram. That's RIGSANDBOBA. So spell out and. And you can find the link too, probably on Johnny's Instagram, Canon Overland. My Instagram won't have it, but I do have some. I'll share the flyer here and there on my Instagram, because, I mean, my page is mostly dogs, but I mean dogs overland too. And if you're not interested in the cars, but you're interested in the dogs, still come out anyway, because I like to walk around and talk to people. So if you want to meet me, meet the dogs, I'll probably bring my entire pack, Goomba, Charlie, Lilo, and Stitch. So if you want to come out to Chino Hills and meet the fam, we'll be there. Again, thank you guys for the support. Check us out on Coffee if you get a chance. If you haven't already, Coffee is just a way to show your love and support to us. You can just do a one-time payment and send us a coffee, or you can sign up for the subscription. We're kind of a little behind on our podcast episodes because Johnny is really busy.
Podcast and also the coffee site. I have the blog to make for our recent trip. It's just that I've been working and going through physical therapy. It's just taking a little bit of time.
So the tiers that are up there, we promise, exclusive content and like early release on stuff. So we'll get to it, but we'll probably share it a little later, but then we'll share it to the public later. If that makes any sense. But if you want any current updates and stuff, like our DMs are always open. I'm sorry that this episode wasn't as exciting. It's just a quick update on life, and then my experience with a moderate trail and driving the K9 Cruiser. I mean, I actually had a lot of fun on that trail, so I wish I had a little bit more experience to talk about it more, because I was just kind of like, what is it, like speechless? Like I was just like in the zone so much that like it was a lot of oh shit moments and like
butt puckering moments that
but for the first time, I mean,
I think you did well.
Yeah, I think so too. I'm excited to get on that trail again and redo it. So yeah, thank you guys for listening. Definitely check out our other episodes, because this is episode 7, so we have 6 other episodes out. And let us know what other topics you guys want us to talk about, because we're running out. We don't know what you guys want, so we have no order into what we want to talk about. So whatever comes to mind during that week that we record just comes up. So if you want a specific topic to be talked about, DM us and let us know. Then we'll actually put it up there. Yeah. Otherwise, it's just going to come when it comes.
Yeah, DM or just leave us a comment on our post, and we'll...
Yeah, people are asking me about dog training, but I mean, I don't want to get into that. Dog training is a whole nother world, okay? There's so much, it's so complex, and it's just, it's nuts. But I'm down to talk about dog training if that's what you want to hear. So let us know. Thank you again.
And enjoy your weekend, guys.
Oh, yeah, because this is Friday.
Duh. Oh, shit, wait, no.
This episode's
yeah,
Friday, so
true.
So, yeah, thank you guys again for listening. We love you guys. We appreciate all the love and support and feedback. Enjoy your Friday and have a good weekend.
Peace.